Tony D and Little Joan in the background, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Echoes about a pair of twins who are up to some shenanigans. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Thanks to all who came out to Moe's Boardwalk today in Wildwood, New Jersey to get books and comics. Now, this looks kind of interesting, although the trailer, it didn't really come across, but this is a kind of thing twins do. They're identical, and sometimes they swap places, because they can, and people can't tell them apart, and, twins, they do this. But often people very close to them can tell, but we're going with this premise. Now, it doesn't say it in the actual trailer, but the synopsis here says Lenny and Gina are identical twins who have secretly swapped their lives since they were children, culminating in a double life as adults, but one of the sisters goes missing and everything in their perfectly schemed world turns to chaos. So that's an interesting premise, because you can imagine how tangled things could get, right? Especially if like one was married and one wasn't, and they were trading boyfriends and men, and maybe trading jobs, and they, one's licensed and one's not, and one's living in the country and one's living in the city, and when they get bored they just switch places. But when one of them goes missing, the other has to kind of find out what the hell happened. And her sister might be dead, but she can't figure it out, and she keeps finding all these weird clues. So yeah, it doesn't look bad. It looks interesting because it plays upon that whole twin thing, right? Twins actually do this. There was a set of twins in my high school, and they used to swap places all the time. Nobody could tell, really, although they were kids, so they would often give the game away. So August 19th, it doesn't look bad. Assume this is a movie. Yeah, I think it's a movie. So I would say the first act is probably to establish the twins. It looks like they're celebrating their birthday. The one twin suspects something is up with the other, but it kind of gets dismissed, and they go on with their birthday. And maybe they just switch places for the umpteenth time, and they update each other on each various things and whatever. Then it cuts to a few months later or a few weeks later. It's probably a short period of time, I would say less than a year, and one of the twins is missing. And there's indication she may have even been killed. So the remaining twin takes it upon herself to solve the mystery. And it looks like the twin that is missing is, I'll say, the weaker of the two. Lenny, who I think is the main character, is stronger than Gina. Gina's the one who says, "Oh, help me, Lenny, you can fix this," which is kind of a line in the trailer. And maybe Gina got in over her head, or maybe Gina is tired of living in her shadow and is doing this for some elaborate twin reason, like, "Oh, you're going to find out that I didn't actually die, but I set this whole thing up to make it look like I'm dead. Now I'm going to kill you and take your place, and that'll be the end of, swapping places," or something like that. So it could go in a lot of weird directions. So the second act is the investigation, and then the third act is what happened. I'm going to guess she's not really dead, but she's in a lot of trouble, and then the twins have to fight at the end, and then you have to figure out which twin survives. And then you're not sure. Something like that. Unless this is a series. I don't think it's a series. Let's see. Is it a series? I'm going to guess no. It could be. That could easily get out of hand, though. It's called Echoes. Yeah, it's a miniseries. Okay, miniseries. Yeah, I couldn't see this going on forever. All right, so miniseries, probably one season. Miniseries is typically one season. So it looks like there's one episode upcoming. I'm going to guess it's maybe 4 to 6 Two sisters, two lives, one secret. And then, yeah, this is, in my view, a movie that should have an ending, or a miniseries that should have an ending. If this drags on too long, it would just, you can't add more sisters. So, and the one sister is clearly out of the loop, so it has to end. So I'm guessing that the other sister isn't really dead, and then it's a final confrontation between the two sisters, because that's sort of the ultimate thing. She spends the whole movie running around trying to save her, and it turns out no, she was trying to fake her own death to get out of this weird thing that they do, whatever it is. Because that's the kind of the ultimate twist. I don't know. I'd watch it. It seems pretty engaging. I like the whole twin angle. I'm not a twin, but it sounds like a thing that's possible. They don't have the same fingerprints, but everything else is identical. I don't think they have the same fingerprints, right? They're different, right? But they're like super, super close, I think. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I also like it when actors play roles like this in a serious role, because then they have to really act. I mean, you have to really act. I mean, you're playing two sisters that are two different people, but they're close, but they can't be exact, and they have to be different in distinct ways. Yeah, that's some really acting chops. She seems to get it. And now, like back in the day, you used to have to do the split screen. Now the effects, yeah. But then again, Hollywood, shouldn't you hire actual identical twins for this movie? Oh. Will the Twin Foundation come down on you and cancel this movie? Probably not. But yeah, I would see this. It's on Netflix. I might watch it. I don't know. Miniseries, that's kind of long. It's kind of just a long movie. I could see this being 2 hours. Why are you going to make it a miniseries? Just for the cliffhangers? That being said, though, I am intrigued. I mean, that it's a miniseries. It's going to end, so it's like a little tiny TV show, I guess. Maybe I'd watch it. So a couple of weeks. August 16th. It's called Echoes, starring Michele, Monaghan. And that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan, still in the background. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. We got a news blast, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for the second video. There's not a lot of trailers today. Really scraping the bottom of YouTube here. No offense. This looks decent. But thanks to all who came out to Moe's Boardwalk today in Wildwood, and we'll see you tomorrow.